Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So I did not upload a separate video for War 11 because I only had 3 fights and I didn't want to kind of make a separate video on that, and those fights weren't anything like that interesting or special either. However, that might have been a mistake because last war I had loads of fights and there was plenty of drama and intrigue, and this video might end up being quite long because of that. So let's quickly get through the War 11. It's New Nation versus Made in Brazil. It would have been already a rematch because we did match them the first time around. I do believe we won that one and it was a very tight war. So Made in Brazil is definitely a very capable alliance. So for that war in Section 1, I actually didn't have any fights. I only had to deal with this Kitty Pride mini boss on backup recovery. But for that, we do have a rank 4 Nimrod, and I didn't even put the big boost on. I did put up the Indestructible 3 boost because my strategy for this fight most of the time is not to stress or worry too much if I accidentally end up eating level 3, because that level 3 is gonna hardly do anything. And the base idea is just get to my level 2 and, nuke it down. Plus, Nimrod right now is rank 4, and that is gonna show here itself. Even though I only had a couple of armor ups, and that was the deciding factor here, because I do think it is also a rank 4 Kitty on defense. So she didn't quite die, and I could have eaten a level 3, but I did have the Indestructible 3 boost. Speaking of, this fight is gonna be a very good prelude to a lot of Nimrod fights later on as well. Right, so let's move on to the next clip. Next clip I have against Apocalypse on Hazard Shift. And again, somebody else took care of the fight before that. I'm going to apply the smallest set of boosts. We're going to go on with Power Start 1 for this fight. And I just kind of want to wait out the initial shock phase because I do not want to get too many shocks on me. Meanwhile, that gives me a lot of opportunities to land parries, get armor ups, and thanks to those armor ups, obviously I'm going to be hitting more and doing more damage, especially if I can maintain some of those armor ups till I get to a level 2 of my own. And now I just need to take this one in the block. Now he also has covered this and power drain applied to him. We just need to again survive that shock phase, which is not a big deal. I have 10 armor ups, and this level 2 is going to be absolutely beautiful here. So here I go in with 16 armor ups, and the shock damage is just filthy. So we could see the huge difference in the shock damage from Kitty Pride and this fight, and that was all down to how many armor ups I have. But let's just take a look again at that filthy shock damage. It was like 11k per tick and something, and that Apocalypse just melted away. And then the last fight for that war that I had was Sasquatch Miniboss here, and he has Conflictor node, which in this case, very interestingly, by using Human Torch's pre-fight ability, by using White Magneto's pre-fight ability, completely bypass. I actually had 0 chance of inflicting a debuff in this fight because all my attacks would inflict no flames, and those are passives, and all my parry stuns now will inflict no flames. So I completely don't have to worry about Conflictor node at all whatsoever. The only thing that I want to keep my eye out for here is the fact that I do not repeat the same combo hits twice in a row in order not to give him that prowess and block penetration and all that other nasty stuff that comes with this mini boss fight. So I'm gonna alternate the entire fight pretty much in between parry medium, light medium, and parry heavy. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be the plan for the entire fight. Parry medium, light medium, parry heavy. And we can see that Sasquatch is definitely melting away. Obviously, he is Unstoppable Armor Defender, so I do need to keep an eye out for that timer to see whether he does or does not proc that Unstoppable. But yeah, that is just about it. We can see that he's already at like 20-some% health. He has not entered the Tanorak mode yet, but it doesn't really matter. Whether he does enter it or doesn't, he's just gonna be deadish anyways. And here we are, he's at 11 of his raid charges, 12 of his raid charges, so he's actually taking significantly reduced damage, but obviously thanks to all the smolders, he still took plenty of it, and as soon as he entered that Wrath of Tanorak mode, the fight is over. And this war went excellent for our Baal group, and it also went excellent for New Nations and Alliance. this was, I think, 4th war in a row where we died 2 times or less. So New Nation is on fire at this point. Our own battle group, I believe, has gotten 3 donuts in last 4 wars or something like that. And we were doing amazingly well. We were on our streak going in for War 12. And that's against Savage Squad. So shout out to all the guys from Savage Squad. I do know quite a few of them have YouTube channels. So I am afraid that I'm gonna miss out somebody. So let's just go with all of them are awesome guys. I do think they have a great alliance and, you know, wish them all the best. And they definitely have very nice YouTube channels as well. Like, again, I'm afraid of missing some people out, but there's Slaymon, there's Daddy Longlegs, I think there is Campo, and a whole bunch of others, again, that I just can't think of at this very moment. Metaforce is in there as well, and yeah, shout out to Work in Progress. But it is the final war, and everything's on the table, because the winner of this war effectively, I believe, gets 2nd place, or has a chance at top, well, does get in top 3. So if we win this war, we are in top 3. If we win this war, we are in 2nd place overall. If Savage Squad wins this one, they are also in top 3. This has been like very close, very tight, very exciting season. And I have lots and lots of fights. So I'm going to start on path 9 here in section 1 with my rank 4 Nimrod against 2 mutants, which were conveniently placed there for grabs. So I do boost up big, even though I'm going to be using a rank 4 Nimrod, just because it's, you know, the final war. Use all the boosts, take out all the stops, make no mistake. Don't be the reason your alliance loses, especially because of a silly boost. So here we're going up against Tafre, and it's Hazard Shift, Incinerate Poison, Nimrod against Wolverine Weapon X. So I do want to wait out the initial Incinerate phase, and again, that lets me parry and build up my armor ups, and thanks to those armor ups, if I am in Titan Protocol, that Wolverine Weapon X can basically hardly do any damage to me. And now that I have entered Blitz Protocol, we are eating up all of his regens, and thanks to that, obviously, we can see that he already is at like 30-some%. Now, I do want to be very careful here with his Wolverine kind of rage mode when he goes unstoppable and unblockable. So I do ideally want to wait it out, but I also did not want to strike him whilst we were in Incinerate phase. Now that Incinerate phase has expired, I just not block bait, but bait out a heavy attack and swiftly finish off that fight without a satisfying level 2, I must admit. That's the most annoying thing. When you finish a fight with a Nimrod without a level 2, it kind of feels anticlimactic. Now we have next fight, Havoc. Again, it's Hazard Shift lane, nothing too special about it. And I do actually let go of my parry there for a second, so that was kind of user error. But again, that's why we have an indestructible 3 boost. And it's fine. Now the Incinerate phase had pretty much ended when I started striking him, so I do get one of the Incinerates placed on me. Also, when I reach a bar of power, he does go indestructible, but that is perfectly fine. And I am basically just building straight up to my level 2 in this fight. And we're dropping that level 2. Now, Havoc does have fairly sizable energy resistance, but it's not sizable enough. So Nimrod just absolutely melts the guy. And now I need to deal with this Airwalker. And I actually will make a silly mistake here at some point. This Airwalker is Hazard Shift fight as well. But unlike before, I do want to do all my hitting whilst he has the Incinerate phase on. And when the poison is on, I do want to kind of slow down and be restrained. So at that point, however, I had already pretty much been set up, and I just decided the hell with it, and we went for it. And I did get some poisons on me, but Cosmic Ghost Rider just nuked that Airwalker like nobody's business. And as I mentioned, I did have a very busy war, so I had 3 fights already in section 1, and now we have this section mini-boss here, Campo's Kitty Pride. It's a rank 3 kitty on Aggression Prowess Mixmaster node. And there can be some annoying parts to this fight, but the base idea again with Nimrod is just get to level 2. So the plan is just block, do medium light, dash back, block, do medium light, get to level 2, and be done with it. That is about it. Here we are. Get that heavy out, medium light, get that heavy out, medium light, and we're just about sorted here. And let's take a look at that level 2. It's such a filthy fun. It's such a filthy fun. I do think I saved this level. Oh, I saved this fight again, but let's take a look at that level 2. It's just, oh my god. Rank 4 Nimrod is love. It's pure embodiment of love. Final evolution of Jigglypuff. What's not to like about that? What's not to like about that? So, 80% health. We have 80% health. And we have 0% health with a single level 2 with no setup, no ramp up, no nothing. Just get to level 2. Now I also have another fight here against this Sauron. And this fight actually went a bit sideways. This one definitely didn't go well. So I was waiting for somebody to give me energy to it last night still, which was quite unusual for me to play as much as I did last night. Typically, I don't do many war fights. And the plan on this fight was actually very simple. I wanted to hit Sauron's block until the window of opportunity stun goes on cooldown. So for first 12 seconds, I just wanted to procrastinate. Then I wanted to parry a couple of times and change my modes and hit him a few times. And that is it. However, he never puts on his block. He basically never puts on his block and got me cornered immediately. So here I do luckily punish that heavy attack, but here again I'm in the corner, and this is very punishing node to be taking hits in a corner, because that Sauron completely kind of bamboozled me. But either way, I do get to that level 2, and as soon as I get to the level 2, we have another one roasted mutant. So I definitely didn't play this fight great. It did get out of hand because, yeah, I did let myself get cornered. But a single level 2 from Sauron, a single level 2 from Nimrod just absolutely cooks that Sauron like nobody's business. And luckily for me, it also was the last fight in the war for Nimrod, so I didn't have to heal him back up, so I wasn't even really stressed about taking some more block damage. Didn't get hit, I think, in that fight. It's just that it definitely didn't go to plan, and it could have ended poorly, but again, all thanks to Nimrod there. And now we have Metaphor's rank 4 Dr. Doom to deal with. Now, this is the fight that I take, I think, third time in last 4 wars. It's a very common popular placement, and my Bishop is definitely by far my personal favorite kind of option for this fight. And though this fight didn't go as well as the previous one did, here, first of all, I end up eating a slap, and, you know, we haven't had as good of a start because we haven't had as many shocks on Dr. Doom, so he's still at 85%. But the idea is pretty much the same. I want to hit his block whilst the bleed phase is on. When the shock phase is on, I want to go in, punish those level 1s, and strike him as often as I can to get several shocks on myself. And with that, obviously, we're going to have some plasma detonations and everything else happening, and we have happy days, basically. Additionally to that, I need to be careful whenever I do have shocks on me, not to stick around too close to Dr. Doom, because he can always just heavy slap you. So here I am nearly at 3 bars of power as well. I do manage a nice little intercept. Again, unfortunately, I do not get the best shock RNG, and he's already just healing at this point, which kind of annoyed me. It really, that RNG really did annoy me. Here I do get to eat another slap, but it's fine. We have Indestructible 3 boost, and I just decided to go for level 3 because I felt like I needed a bit more progress in this fight. So here with that, we do drop a very good level 3. I get back 2 full bars of power, and I also have shock on me, which quickly rebuilds my plasma charges and everything else. Now I managed to strike him a few more times, and there he is pretty much dead with those plasma detonations. He's at like 1%. And I just finish it off. So it wasn't perfect fight, but again, pretty much the entire fight I did feel in control, and I do not mind that matchup at all. And now we have last 2 fights. So yes, we have 2 more fights in this war against Bishop, and then we have Hulkbuster Miniboss, and all poop is gonna go down in that Hulkbuster Miniboss fight. But before that, we need to quickly deal with the Bishop, so I'm again gonna use the invulnerability boost. I actually popped open some of those war boost crystals because I was indeed running short on the Indestructible 3 boost, but again, it's the very end of the season. Much rather use them than not and, you know, mess up and die kind of thing. So here for this fight, the plan's very simple. Just heavy. I did heavy too quickly though. I should not have heavied yet, but it's fine. Because I do want to wait out the shock phase. And then after I wait out the shock phase, I do want to do a full combo finishing with light. And here I should have done a full combo finishing with medium. I do not know why I kind of stopped myself, but nonetheless, I do it now. And here we are. We drop the first level 2, and he is at 40-some%. And I just block bait a heavy attack, go for second level 2, and the fight is over. It's a very kind of fair fight. I mean, it can go wrong, but it can also go right very, very quickly. Now, this fight, I do have White Magneto pre-fight, so I'm going to be able to parry freely. I don't know how to worry that about. However, Conflicted Node still exists, and Conflicted Node is going to screw me over. But here we are nonetheless. And I'll explain this fight a bit later on as well. At the very least, the last couple of fights I explained. After it's going to be done as well. But here again, I do drop my heavy attack. I'm going for full combo finish with the light. I don't know why I threw that heavy attack there. I shouldn't have done it. I should have went for a combo with medium. But here we can see that Conflictor Node just triggers and pushes him to 3 bars of power. So out of panic, I drop my level 2 in his block. To be fair, that level 2 in the block did some damage, but I was hoping that he's going to dash in at me. Nonetheless, I do eat a level 3 from Hulkbuster, and he is unblockable after his level 3. So that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool at all. But that's why you have Indestructible 3 boosts, kids. And here after that, I do use my level 1, and I heavy to get the 5th Judgment, and now we're fine. You know, I wasn't gonna say that at any given point I was very close to dying in that fight, but eating a level 3 definitely wasn't in the plan book. So, you know, that happened, but Indestructible 3 boosts are there for a reason. And again, afterwards, I just needed to kind of keep my calm. I dropped the level 1 to get him away from me whilst he was unblockable. Then I parried heavy to get the 5th Judgment on, so that kind of gives some more safety for me in the fight. Had the shock sticking down at me, but, you know, Hulkbuster shocks aren't like that crazy potent in themselves. So I did not play this fight splendidly, so to speak. But we still didn't die. We got the job done, and ultimately that's what matters. Also, when I went in this fight, I will just flat out say it, I was already quite mad. I actually woke up this morning quite mad because New Nation was playing amazing, as good as any alliance could hope to play for all of the last wars. And yeah, we had, I think, 4 wars in a row now, and we died twice or less. It seemed like everything's sticking fine. It seemed like, you know, the matchups are found and figured out. It seemed like the job is clear for every member in every battle group. What do we do? When do we do it? How do we do it? And, you know, we have finally kind of hit our stride. And when I woke up, unfortunately, we had already died 5 times. And we ended up losing this war as well. I think we died once more at the very, very end when it didn't really matter because Savages exploded with 4 deaths. And, you know, the war was lost. The war was lost at the moment, basically, when I woke up. And we were behind in exploration and behind in deaths. And I just knew how it's going to end. And it always sucks when it happens, when you think everything's clear, then we have momentum. And then the alliance just absolutely chokes itself. On top of it, seeing all the deaths that occurred, you know, at least half of them are really stupid. Like, from one side, you want to say, yeah, it happens. From other side, you know, it's just quite brutal when, you know, that momentum just suddenly gets halted. And not in the case like we had against Kenobi, where we lost the war with, you know, 2-1 score, right? That still felt good. That felt that we played amazing, you know, opponent just had insanely good war. 2 deaths is nothing to be ashamed of. This war didn't feel like that at all. This war just felt like we effectively threw ourselves out of the top 3 for the season. And for what it's worth, it was a really fun season. It had its ups, it had its downs. Yes, we couldn't and the first anymore because of the losses, but we were still like, you know, in the running for top 2, and we just screwed ourselves over. That being said, you know, I'm fully well aware things like that happen. This season started out for me as well quite awful. Like, you know, first 3-4 wars were bad for me. But again, as I said, it did feel like for the last second half of the season, New Nation was playing pretty much as well as we have ever played. And it just makes you think. You know, why, what, where, how. It's like, because this is a self-inflicted thing, 100%. So, not to take anything away from Savage Squad, and they definitely played very well and they had a good war. But if opponent dies 4 times, New Nation, you know, should be able to win that war and had been playing in a manner where we would have won that war. But it's, I don't even know what it is. The stress, the pressure of the last war, the pressure or stress of the top 3, and you know, people just throw it out. So, season was fun. I still definitely enjoyed playing it, but the ending definitely is extremely unfortunate. But you know, it happens. That's Alliance War. That's part of the reason why Alliance War is so exciting, because you're not guaranteed a great outcome. You're not guaranteed the top 3 rewards. You need to earn them, and we didn't. So hopefully, you know, we'll see what we do going forward. But all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this war video. Come on, let's face it. If you guys didn't enjoy seeing me eat a nice level 3 from Hulkbuster, then how the hell I'm supposed to please you? But yeah, that will do for now, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about